My 22F boyfriend, 27M, won't let me give him head, and I think I know why. My boyfriend just told me a month ago he was at a party a few years ago and he got really drunk. Pass out drunk. He said he was on the couch relaxing and the next thing he knew, a guy was sucking his dick. He said when he realized what was happening, he stoped it, left the house and got an Uber home. He says he doesn't remember anything after getting home and passing out on the couch. Since we started dating, he doesn't like me to give him oral. I have never dated a guy who didn't like it, but after he told me he just doesn't like it, I accepted of course and never tried it. Then he tells me this story in tears. I held him and told him it was not his fault and that he is enough and that this doesn't define him. He initiated sex, but I took the lead and just did everything I possibly could do to make him feel good physically and emotionally. I spent 1 hour or so just physically expressing how much I love him. He fell asleep right after and I'm happy he can rest. I need advice on how, if I should bring it up again. I would only want to in case he wants to talk about it. I know this is his trauma, but I want to be there for him in every way I can. Should I ask him in a few weeks how he's doing with his healing process? Should I not mention it unless he brings it up? Please help me navigate this. Your boyfriend was sexually assaulted. I would encourage him to at the very least look into therapy. Men are often afraid to seek help for this kind of thing because they feel ashamed due to our dumb societal thinking. Support him in this however you can, but I would avoid bringing up performing oral specifically until he decides he wants to try. Let him take the lead on that. His healing comes first. Edit. Be gentle about the way you bring up therapy. Have you ever talked to someone about this? Talking to a professional could really help with. Don't bring it up. He told you for you to listen to him, not fix the problem or bother with questions about healing. You can suggest therapy, but I personally would hate if someone would bring up my saw after I told them. Sometimes listening and being able to not carry the burden alone is enough. I wouldn't bring it up, to be honest. I had something similar and I don't like talking about it, rather I grew out of it. Give him more time. Eventually when he talks about it he'll feel ready and feel stronger about it. Whatever you do, don't bring it up because it will remind him of it right when he wants to do something else and gets sad. My ex didn't like it either, and it was because an older woman gave him head when he was younger, 20, and surprised him with a finger in the bum he wasn't expecting. Trauma sticks when you don't deal with it, and this guy was a hardcore sex addict, which is why he's the ex. Don't give him oral. Just don't. The best advice I can give is don't push him to talk more about. You can encourage him to talk about, but in a way that lets him know he can open up about it on his own terms. Update. I, 24 female. Think I hate my husband, 27 male. Hey, Reddit. Just wanted to give an update, and thank you all so much for the advice. After many discussions, and many therapy sessions, just me, he refuses to even consider it. We are moving forward with a divorce. I discovered that on many levels, I stopped loving him a long time ago. Our lease ends next month, and I've decided to purchase land by myself in Colorado. I've always wanted to move there, and I never could talk him into it, so me and my dog are going to build our dream home there. I'll be staying with family until my home is built. I'm sad, I'm relieved, I'm terrified, but I'm mostly hopeful for what's to come next. Can't thank you guys enough for giving me the nudge I needed to stand up for myself. As for work, many of you were worried that I was working myself into an early grave, and you're right. I love what I do, but I'm negotiating with my supervisor about fewer hours and higher pay until I can officially move out west. I have a very long way to go to rebuild, but I'll get there. And when I do, I'll not be responsible for an oblivious man-child. Original post below. I, 24 female, am coming to resent my husband, 27 male. I dread coming home from work every night. For backstory, we've been together for 8 years, married for 2. I work an hour away from home as a first responder, and he commutes 15 minutes into town as a mechanic. I work 70-plus hour weeks, while he works barely 30, because he consistently calls out at least 1 day a week because he doesn't feel like working today. We have 1 dog, no children. He cooks us dinner on days I have work, and I cook on my rare, off days. I am very grateful that he cooks, but I feel like it's the only thing he helps with. He refuses to help with chores, or if he does it takes me nagging him for 3 weeks for him to get them done. He refuses to sweep, mop, hand wash the specialty cookware, wipe counters, clean the bathroom, or empty out the vacuum so I can use it when I get home from work. If I ask him to get one thing done while I'm work, it's never done. I come home to him playing video games. He leaves dirty dishes everywhere, trash everywhere he goes, and doesn't pick up dirty clothes or anything else out of place. I try to clean the house on my off day, but it's nearly impossible to deep clean as much as I need to, while also getting laundry, dishes, errands, and grocery shopping done all in one day. He spends all his free time either napping or playing games, while I've not had a consistent 3 hours to myself to watch even a movie in many weeks. I'm exhausted. I need help with maintaining the house while not losing my shit. I need a partner, but he doesn't act like one. Our dog recently had severe medical issues that fostered a $1,000 vet bill. I paid it with my savings and asked him to help cover some of it as she also needed to be put on a special dietary food. He said he couldn't. That it wasn't his dog. He hardly ever helps take care of her. If it weren't for me, she would literally starve to death. I need advice. What can I do? How can I help him see how badly I'm struggling? I try to talk to him about it, but he just gets angry and tells me I'm lazy. That I should do more and not expect so much of him. Please help. Good luck on your move to a happier and healthier life. Do not buy land while still married to him if you plan on divorcing. He will have rights to that land during the divorce. Hope your Colorado home gets filled with wonderful memories by you and your doggo. Wow. So you work 70-ish hours and you were still going to make time for therapy. This guy's an idiot. I wish you the best of luck in life. I try to talk to him about it, but he just gets angry and tells me I'm lazy. What an ungrateful, ignorant prick. Find someone that is a grown adult and can take care of himself. You don't need to have an oversized baby as boyfriend. Move on and don't look back. Sounds like a success story. I'm 24 female, on vacation with my 25 female best friend, and I'm about to lose my shit. I've been very clear about everything I've wanted to do on this trip: sightseeing and good food during the day, drinks and flirt with cute boys at night. We spent months planning and talking about it, but now that we're here she's getting on my fucking nerves. I'm being a bit cynical RN because I just had another night ruined and I'm a night person, so I'm pissed off. We're traveling all over Europe, but we're only spending less than a week in each city. I'm fine with money, but she needs to budget, and she won't let me help her at all, and it's getting in the way of things I want to do. Like she won't let me buy her a drink, she's covering more than half of the meals, won't let me cover my actual half, that we split, then we'll talk about how she needs to watch her spending. And she won't let me go out on my own. We are adults. I'm allowed to walk up to a block away during the day, and at night I can't leave the building without her or I'm abandoning her. Oh, and she's given me a curfew. Back home by 1 a.m. Never in my life have I been home so early. We must be in bad neighborhoods, right? No. We're in fucking Soho in London right now. I go out to the south side of Chicago to party with my friends regularly. Knowing how to stay safe and navigate a city is nothing new to me. I know we're in a foreign country, but Christ, I invited a friend, not my mom or a babysitter. She wouldn't even drink the water. I had to show her an article about the water quality in London just to get her to be okay with it, but she's still insisting on water bottles. I was talking to a man in Dublin for over a month and we fell pretty hard and were having a great time while we were out. She wanted to go home because she was tired. I drove back in the cab with her back to our B&B and made sure she got in. She gave me a curfew, and I had to text her every half hour. She didn't sleep, told me I abandoned her and that it was the worst night of her life. And she was mad at me for sending pictures of their dog and their roommate who was her twin in every way. You weren't taking the situation seriously. I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. I've been very clear through this entire process about what I've wanted, and I was the one who planned 90% of this trip in the first place, and I feel like it's getting hijacked. I haven't been able to make any memories. It feels like I'm traveling with my mom, but worse. I had no idea how scared she was of everything. We talked about our anxieties, but she did not mention any of this. We're 24/25. I've been trying to keep my mood level. It takes a lot to bug me, but she's such a fucking downer RN. My father might sneak out to go do the shit I want, but that's not safe for anyone at that point. I really need some advice. This is the last English-speaking country we'll be in, and I am not letting her ruin my first and probably only vacation like this I'll ever get. A lot of people commented on the anxious attachment stuff, but I didn't see anyone comment on the money thing. Get separate checks. Say up front, "Hi, separate checks please," and there is no argument or discussion. Listen, you're an adult. You call the shots in your life. If there are things you need on this trip and canceling isn't an option, then set some boundaries and make some compromises. That's life. Things rarely go exactly according to plan. My friend was like this when we traveled to America together. We no longer speak, and travel was the catalyst for it. We used to be attached at the hip. I was funding my own way, her parents funded hers. I wanted to go out walking and see all the things, she preferred taxis or Ubers. I wanted to try different foods, she ate at McDonald's as often as possible. We just weren't compatible travel partners, and it killed our friendship. I don't get why you aren't just ignoring her. And, lesson learned. Traveling brings out the worst in people. Is she normally like this? What does she want to do instead of socialize? Top tip for traveling in London: the guys outside bars asking if you want a cab are not taxi drivers. Only get into licensed black cabs. Otherwise, enjoy. Maybe just straight up abandon her for the trip lol. This is ridiculous. Do all the things you want to do. If she's got a problem, tell her to fuck off. Her, you're abandoning me. You, no I'm not, I'm going to go do things I enjoy. I'll text you once if I decide to stay out and not come back. She's a big girl, let her be upset and a mess if she wants to be. Cheating girlfriend after 10 years of relationship. 27M, 28F, in the years we've spent together we fought a lot. Some bad but other about other stuff. So last week she had a mental breakdown, we fought and on the next day she just cheated on me with a nice dude she met the other day and switched contacts and that was it. Like that. After a 10-year fully committed relationship aiming to start a life together. Like, is this for real? I found out yesterday because something just didn't add up and I had to do the worst thing and check her phone. I spent the whole week chasing after her because of our fight like an idiot. She did even bring out the idea to open the relationship to cover her cheating and be able to tell the truth without hurting her. Like, what am I supposed to do? We go to the same gym and live in the same neighborhood. I can't possibly see how could I trust her again even after she cried all night and begged for forgiveness. She did not have decency to tell you. You found out yourself by checking her phone and on top of that she trying to cover herself by opening up the relationship. I personally don't think she is sorry for the cheating. More like sorry for getting caught. She doesn't deserve to be forgiven emo. Nah, just need to cut it off at this point. You can't trust her now, especially since you actively caught her trying to cover her cheating up. Go severe no contact. Change your patterns. She knows your gym. She knows your schedule. Change leave times, go to another gym, etc. You need to not see her or have any drama in foreseeable future to process this breakup. Loss. Make sure family and friends understand what happened so they can either support you or be made no contact as well. Op. My relationship of 9 years is your exact ages. In either circumstance that involved cheating, both of us would dump the other. Life is way too short to try to build it with a cheater. Our lives are very intertwined and any cheating situation would lead to separating. Do not think being with someone for 10 years means you should bend over backwards to forgive a horrible betrayal. And to add to it, I lost my dog last month because of cancer and she did that on the day after my father's birthday and we had our 10-year anniversary early this month. Sometimes, there is a point where a relationship has run its course, and we still remain in that relationship because of a sunk cost fallacy or some other reason. The actions a partner might take after this point will take the other person's feelings into consideration less and less, with outcomes like the one you described to us. It sounds like you two passed that point a long time ago, and given your history of fighting and her attempt to cheat and then save face, it sounds like she's trying to save face and trying to hold onto something that should have ended a long time ago. You may both love and care for each other, but the relationship doesn't seem healthy for you anymore. You need to move on.